up? Thank you again for joining me on another Sin Explains It All episode. And let me start over. I didn't realize I was on mute, y'all. I was up there talking, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly. But thanks again, y'all, for joining me live on this Saturday Sin with Saturday episode as I explain it all. And today's topic is going to be 3 ways to motivate yourself to start writing your book. Because surprisingly, that is the question that I get asked the most. Like, oh, Sin, how'd you write your book? How'd you do this? How'd you do that? So I'm going to be your girl and I'm going to tell you, give you steps, give you little things that you can work on now to get motivated to start. Because I feel like that's the hardest thing to do. A lot of us, it's just like any other thing. When you have a goal in mind, it's something that you want to do, but you just sometimes need the motivation to do so. So we will talk about that today. But before we get into all the tips and tricks and stuff I have to share, we are going to tune in and watch my intro. I'll be right back.
Met Synquette, man, the girl was heaven sent. Met Synquette, man, the girl was heaven sent.
So welcome back. And I just wanted to throw a little intro in as you guys are coming in. So when you come in, do not forget to say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. And also let me know if it's snowing where you are living at currently, because we just had a snowstorm that was totally unexpected. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, really snow? And to me, snow is really pretty. It's nice falling down, but I just don't like the aftermath, having to go and clean it up. And you have to be careful how you walk, and you don't want to like slip on no black ice. So it's just one of those catch-22s. It's beautiful coming down, but like I said, the aftermath is just in the way. So anyway, if you guys do not know me, I am Synquette, and I'm your reset coach. So I like to help women discover their purpose, their gifts, their talents, and get back after a setback, because I know life can get in the way. It throws us off track, and then sometimes we don't know how to recover and get back on track. But I'm your girl to help you do so, because I feel like I have to do that over and over and over again. Like, I'm the girl that knows how to take a licking and keep on ticking. And I said that before, even though I don't like going through situations, and it rains on the just and the unjust, but nevertheless, I learned how to get like lessons in my L's, okay? So I help women to do the same thing. So again, the purpose of this live is talk about motivation, how to get motivated to start writing your book, because I get it. Writing your book is a very, very big thing. It does take a lot out of you, a lot of energy, a lot of resources, monetary. It's some things when you're writing your book you can do for free, but not really. Some things I want to talk about that next. Don't writing a book is not the thing that you want to like get your grandmom and your cousin that do graphic design on the side to do for you. Okay, you probably want to go to the professionals, because people will judge you based off of how your book looks. So that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. So yes, again, as you're coming in watching, say hi. Let me know where you're watching from, and also let me know if you like the snow. Yay or nay to the snow? For me, it's a May, which means it's in the middle. But anyway, so today's topic, like I said, is going to be writing your book. And I actually feel like this is a perfect time to write your book, because, okay, like I said, for us that's on like the northeast coast, we're stuck in the house already because it's a snowstorm. So you don't got nowhere to go. So you might as well go ahead and write your book. You might as well go ahead and get started, at least doing some research, things like that in the meantime. So that's number one thing. And another two thing is just like, wait a minute, we're still in the panini somewhat. Some things are still open, some things are not. So while we're still in the panini, and y'all know what I mean when I say panini, that's code for it. Amen. So yeah. So while we're still in the panini, you could take this time to write your book. Like I said, we're all stuck in the house, so we might as well do it. All right. So for me, the number one tip that I want to give you guys to keep motivated, or at least get the motivation to start writing your book, is to, get in topic with your why. Hey, Georgie. Hey, girl. So at least figure out your why. That is the most important thing to me when starting out. I know, like, For me, writing my book was always a goal for like years, since like 2016. And I really feel like the only reason why I couldn't do it is because my why wasn't strong enough. Before, it was just like, okay, I want to do it as a goal. It's going to be cool to say that I'm an author. I think, that's very challenging, something to go after. But it wasn't until I realized, like, wait a minute, I started to get a little older, get a little wisdom, experience under my belt. And I seen like other young women make the same mistakes that I made in life, dating, love, relationships, things like that. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. So basically, my first book, The Master Reset, is like a letter to myself, what I would have told my younger self. Like, all right, this is what you need to look out for. This is why you need to keep God first. This is why you need to know God's love for you, because if you don't, you won't be moving crazy out here in these streets. I really feel like that's everything just changes when you really find out God's love for you. And I was very passionate about that. I'm like, okay, I don't like seeing people go through things that they don't have to go through. If I can like tell you like, hey, don't go that way, it's a pothole, I feel like I want to tell you. So that's what my book is about. Like my first book, like writing that out, like, hey girl, don't be like me. This is a cheat code, just get to the good part of your life. Like take off some years of experience and stuff like that. And I understand some people have to experience stuff to actually learn. But if you're like me, I kind of will listen to people. If you warn me, I will actually listen. I'm not like that kind of person that has to see it on my own. I was like, okay, I'll at least take it into consideration. So that's why I said you had to figure out your why, and I feel like it's much easier to write your book when you have something that you're like, you want to be an advocate for, that you want to speak out about, that moves you, where you just can't stay silent about. And it could be very no, I don't want to say basic. It could be something like cooking. If you feel like you're very passionate about type of measurements and what goes in this way and that way, write about that. If you're passionate about saving money, write about that. And you just feel like you want to help somebody save up their savings account and you want to know people that know how to save money for a rainy day, write about that. So that's what you have to like come and really think about. Why do you want to write your book? It's going to have to be a little bit something deeper than just wanting to make money, which is cool. Actually, that is a good motivation. That's what motivates you. At the same time, I know like I work, so I already knew like I wasn't going to become rich overnight writing my book. So that's how come for me, my passion had to be like, all right, I want to get this message out. I want to help as many young women as I can with my book and my story. So think about your why. That's very important. And another thing, like another question that people ask me is just like, okay, how do you come up with ideas? And I really feel like that's how you come up with ideas. Take a piece of paper out, use your notes in your cell phone. That's what I do. And just kind of write things that move you. Like write out topics that you like talk to your friends about over and over. You can't wait to talk to them. Or, what people come to you for advice for. What are those things? Do people always ask you how to cook or make something? What's the proper measurements? Do people always come to you asking you how to dress, put things together? That's a book. You know what I mean? Anything that like people could come to you about and ask your expertise on, or something that you could keep talking about over and over and over and on and on and on about. People are like, okay, chill. That is what you can write your book on. But like I said, always think about the reader and who you're trying to help. You know what I mean? It's to me, it's easy to kind of write to the next woman that's coming up. Or that's kind of who I always have in mind when I'm writing, when I'm talking. Like, okay, the younger generation, the people that's before me, that's coming up after me. All right, I want to write to them. I want to let them know, like, hey, I get it. I've been where you've been, but look, put this in place. Put God first. Remember, read your, things like that. Because that's something I wish I would have really took in consideration when I was younger. So yes, think about your why. So the number 2 thing that I want to mention is you have to see your book being published, finished, done before it actually comes to pass. So for me, what really kind of helped me get motivated to keep writing was actually getting my working with a graphic designer. And that's why I say don't like go to like, somebody that's good with just the basics. You kind of want to get somebody that's going to really, where you see your book, you're just like, wow. So I worked with a girl. And she's like a YouTuber too. I love her, Keela J. Like I liked her aesthetic, so that's how come I reached out to her. Like, hey, can you do the cover for my book? And like we work together, and it's just going to be a very fulfilling feeling when you actually see your product come to life. Like she nailed it. I had in mind what I wanted, and she just nailed it. So that's another thing. Just begin to see it. Just begin to see yourself being finished. See yourself now holding your book in your hands. Think about like, so this was before COVID and stuff like that, but think about seeing yourself at Barnes and Nobles at the table, people lined up ready to get your book signed. I mean, their book signed by you, you know, the book that you author. So think about those things, like already visualize it and put in your mind. Like for me, I think it's good. Well, one tip I would give people is to go on Amazon now and like look at books in your genre to kind of see what's already out there. You know, look at book covers that stick out to you. That way you know how you want your book to look, or what kind of colors and graphics get your attention. So I feel like that's one thing that helps. Like actually just seeing it and know that one day you'll be up there on the Amazon best new selling author page, you know, just things like that. Just remember the goal at hand. Visualize it, okay? And even for me, I wanted to share this. Like I shared this before, but while I was still writing, I was still working on the book cover or whatever in the process. So I think that's important. Think about the book cover as you go. So when I was working with Keela, she came up with like the graphics. So before I was finished with my book, I printed this out, framed it, and then like it gave me motivation to keep going. Because writing a book is just like a lot. It's really not easy. So I was just like, okay, the book is there. It's beginning to manifest. It's coming to pass. You know what I mean? But that's why I'm like, okay, y'all, go ahead and get your book covers, things like that. Just think about that part, almost the finished product. You know, that's why I say you have to see it before you see it. So that's the number 2 thing. Again, number 1 was why is writing a book important to you? Who do you want to help? Who do you want to serve? Who do you want to entertain? Because that's another thing. I'm in a self-help genre kind of thing, but you may have like an interesting story to tell. People may be like, oh my gosh, you are such a good storyteller. You may know how to put characters in, you may have a really vivid imagination, and you can like bring things together. So that's another thing. That's another value as well. It doesn't always have to be like, oh, I'm giving you advice or telling you something. Like if you can entertain people, okay, you could be like in the mystery genre or something like that. If you know how to put things together and characters in your head, you could still be a fiction author. You know, the point is just to get started and write. That's why I'm on y'all next today about it. All right. And my number 3 point is create a writing schedule for yourself or join a writing group. And basically the two went hand in hand for me. So I joined a writers group. It was called Remnant Writers. And the host of it, Tiffany Buckner, she is the author of like 40 plus books. So I figured that I would be in good hands, you know what I mean? If I was under her book writing course. And that really helped actually get the fire underneath me, because we had specific a number of pages that we had to write weekly, and if we did not meet that standard, we were fined. So I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to give all my coins away, so I made sure I had my pages in at the right amount at the right particular time. So you was going to have 100-page book at the end of 5 weeks. And I feel like that's good. Like, because people will spread out the book writing process to go for years and years and years, you know? So that's why I'm just like, no. You're going to want to have to either get some accountability amongst like people around you that can hold you accountable, or hold yourself accountable. But for me, I kind of need to be in a group. People that like I can bounce ideas off of, that I can talk to about the book writing process or whatever. Because sometimes people around you, they mean well, but they could like throw you off too. Hey, you don't gotta write that book. If you try to like tell them why you're not hanging out, like, oh, I gotta write my book. Girl, you don't gotta do that. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. So that's how come you have to be around other like-minded people that will push you towards your greatness as well. So do not forget your why. Work on a writing schedule. And that's another thing I wanted to say too. Like, writing a book takes a lot out of you. But I feel like if you will write consistently, if you even dedicate, like, okay, on Saturdays, even if it's for an hour, on Saturdays from 1 to 2, I'm going to write as much as I can in my book for the next 2 months, you gonna have a book, if you just keep writing consistently. Even no matter how little time or a lot time you put to it, just stay consistent. And I realized that we can stay consistent to what we want to stay consistent to. We just have to know our why, which is why I talked about in the beginning. Because think about it. I think about all the many times that I don't want to wake up and go to work in the morning, but I be right here at my desk signing in, even when I feel like it, even when I don't feel like it, I'm right here because I see the importance and value in it. My why is so my bills can get paid, so I'm going to show up for work. So I feel like we have to keep that same energy for ourselves. We got to show up for ourselves. We have a lot to share with other people. I feel like everybody's an author. That's why I just kind of love. I'm like a quiet people person. I like observing others. And I feel like everybody has a story to tell. Living life on this earth is not easy. Everybody be going through stuff, so I just know that we all have something to share, some experience that others can glean from, that we could write about. And like I said, either uplift others, inspire others, give others advice, or entertain others. It don't always got to be something like really Martin Luther King, Mother Teresa ish. But just right, just let the world get a little glimpse into you, what's going on inside your head. So yes, those are my 3 points. And again, they were: know why you want to write, have your why in front of you, seeing your book completed and finished before you see it, and also create a writing schedule for yourself and join a writing group. Okay, I really want y'all to do that. I really want y'all to go ahead and get your goals accomplished. I feel like this is a year of marking stuff off of our checklist for real this time. No more carrying them over to the new year. No, we get them done this year. Actually, how about Q1? So if you're interested in writing your book too, I do have I do one-on-one author coaching. I put the link on my YouTube, and also my Facebook, but Instagram, I'm going to have to do another post for you. Hey, everyday husband quotes. We're just talking about how to get motivated to write your book. So again, if you're interested in one-on-one author coaching by me, I'm a 2-time author of this book, The Master Reset, and my other book is on Kindle. It's called He Is Not the Prize You Are. Because you know how these guys are nowadays, asking you what you bring to the boy. I am the table. Don't you dare. So, I'm just like reminding us of our greatness in that book. Yeah. But nevertheless, so if you want to, have any other questions about the book writing process and you want somebody to hold you accountable to get your book done, I'm your girl. Again, I do coaching, one-on-one coaching. Also, I'm working on doing group coaching. So, we could just like help each other write our books, because I'm working on my 3rd book. It's in the mix. Okay. That's coming soon as well. Hey, hi, writing is there. I agree, girl. I agree. Don't you? One thing I did notice about writing, when I was writing my book, I didn't have as much emphasis to clap back or argue with anybody. You know what I mean? Because writing takes a lot out of you. It's like you're pouring your soul out. You just, and that's another thing I want to talk about. You do want a certain amount of pages to your book, so your book can have a spine. That's how come you have to have at least a certain amount of pages, at least 100 to 125. So your book looks like this and not like a magazine. Oh, not like, no, this is pretty thick. I'm gonna have to show y'all my book that's on Kindle. That book was only 60 pages and it just looked like a magazine. So you're gonna want to write. And that's how come, like, oh, Royal, I hope I'm saying your name right. Royale. Ooh, hope I'm saying it right. Because, I got one of those names, too, where people be like, Synquette, you see? Like Synquette? I'm like, it's Synquette. But it's okay to eat those everybody off. Oh, okay. So I do have my little stuff up here. So if you would like to get author coaching, you want to ask me how to get your book published, I know how to help you through self-publishing, okay? So that's my niche because I self-publish both my books. And then I'll be self-publishing my third book. Because another thing too, I feel like it's almost like the music industry with self-publishing your book. That's how I can describe it. Like before, back in the day, groups had to go and sing in front of Motown and all that other stuff to get a record deal. Now you could just post your stuff on YouTube, SoundCloud, Instagram, and then the major labels will come and pick you up. That's basically what self-publishing your book is. You don't have to wait until like the big traditional publishing houses come. No, you can write your book now, make it look professional, get professional editing, layout, and all that stuff. And then like the big people will start looking at you. So I just don't want people to feel like, okay, my book won't be legit if it's not like published traditionally. No, your book will be legit. And it's a lot of I was looking that up. Even people that self-publish their books turned into movies and stuff. Like that's how popular like things become. So the thing is, just do it. Just get started. All right. That's what I want everybody to do. Lose your fear or feel the fear, but do it anyway. That's also a book. I didn't write, but I just like that title. So, and another thing, I have a free download here in the description on my second YouTube channel. So this is my In This Life of Sin channel, where I want to talk more about this stuff, the book writing process, how to level up, what we doing to like, be that girl this season and for the rest of our lives. So this is what my second channel is about. So if you are interested in possibly doing some group writing challenges together, use that download and you'll be added to an emailing list. And then when I'm ready to launch, you will know all the details, how we're getting started, the breakdown, and all that jazz. So again, thank you for tuning in. I will be going live again on Tuesday, February 1st at 6 p.m. And this time I want to talk about tools, things that you need to get started writing your book that I feel like will be helpful, And it's not what you think. You probably already have it, but I just want to realize, like, I want to take out the hurdles, whatever misconceptions you may have about writing your book. You think it's going to be this long, daunting process. You probably already wrote your book when you texting your friends, you know what I mean? When you writing in your notepad, when you talking. Like I use a lot of voice memos and stuff. And I'm like, dang, I could have had a book. Even when I be looking through my DMs on Instagram about celebrity gossip and stuff like that between my friends and stuff and myself, I'm like, that could have been a blog post. So y'all probably already done wrote your book. You just need to pull stuff. That's why I said, think about your interests and what you like to talk about a lot. That's going to be the easiest way to get your book pushed out, So again, my name is Synquette. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all at Synquette. And it's right here. Oh, I think it's back here. You know how things be flipped on camera. So that's my name. Do not wear it out. And we will be back again for more book writing tips. Don't forget to email me, DM me any of your questions, anything that you want to know about the self-publishing process, and I will definitely help you out. And we will talk again soon. Thanks again for joining me on another Sin Saturday. Synquette Explains It All. That's from the show, the 80s show. No, I think it's a 90s show. Clarissa Explains It All. Remember, if you a Nick kid, you remember Clarissa Explains It All. And that's why I just I'm going to throw my name in it. Synquette Explains It All. All right, until next time, I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.